Hi everyone, Dr. Becca Knackstedt here. I have seen rebounding all over my social media since the new year, and it's being portrayed as almost this miraculous exercise intervention that would lead to results more than would be achieved with just a standard exercise program. So let's discuss the science. I found this scoping review, which was a really good summary of rebounding exercise programs that have been used as part of a rehabilitation program. So once again, on this channel, we talk largely about prehabilitation, which is before a surgery, whereas rehabilitation is after something, so after surgery, after a trauma. And somewhat not surprisingly, the studies found that rebounding as part of your rehabilitation was really effective. It did improve things like insulin, glucose, strength, aerobic capacity, lean muscle mass. That's awesome, but that's what we would expect. This is basically a bouncing exercise. It is indeed an exercise intervention. Now, I've seen studies, or not studies, I should say, I've seen influencers trying to sell a rebounding machine because they say that it can improve lymphatic flow. Now, that's never objectively been shown in a study that I could find, but it definitely makes sense. Lymphatic flow is dependent on muscle contraction, so it makes sense if you're using your leg muscles, you are going to have increased lymphatic flow. So I really don't think we need a study to show that. Now, the concern is obviously from an injury perspective. This is something that, as you can imagine, people could easily injure themselves on, especially if they're doing it at home unsupervised. The other thing to consider is that all of the different studies that have used rebounding have used very different interventions, so durations and activities on the rebounder, but still, once again, they were all really favorable. So is this something that you should incorporate into your prehabilitation routine? I think absolutely. If this is what's going to motivate you to get up and exercise, jumping on a mini trampoline, and you can have one in your house, go for it. Just as we discussed before, be careful with your exercise. This is something that where you could be injured. And if you are starting an exercise program, always discuss with your doctor. Have you used rebounding? If so, let me know below.